Good morning, church family. We are in May now. It is May 1st. And so we are in Arizona enjoying triple-digit weather with dry weather. I'm sure that the weather will come down a little bit. The temperatures are going to come down some this month. It won't be in the triple digits all month. We'll probably be down in the 90s, maybe even a few days in the 80s before we hit the triple digits for good by the end of the month and sometime into June. I hope you're doing okay. It's a stressful time for a lot of people. With Governor Ducey's announcement on Monday extending the stay-at-home order till May 15th, folks are starting to get really frustrated. There's a lot of financial pressure. People are out of work. Folks could deal with this for a shorter period of time, but the longer it goes, the more difficult it is getting. And I hope that you're focusing upon your Lord and spending some time in the Word at this time. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together. Hopefully the governmental leaders and all of that will provide good guidance and we'll get out of this soon. I want to direct your attention to the book of Luke chapter 22. Luke chapter 22. In this chapter, Jesus is preparing for the Lord's table. He sends the disciples into town. They find the upper room. He comes to the upper room. He begins to celebrate the Passover with the disciples. He breaks bread among them. He takes the cup. And here's what Jesus says. He takes the cup after the supper, saying, "This cup is the New Testament. This is the new covenant in my blood." What he is saying here is profound. Even when we read it today, we don't quite get the reality of what Jesus is saying. He's saying that his shed blood is going to be the foundation for the new covenant. And the new covenant, according to Jeremiah chapter 31, replaces the Mosaic covenant, which has failed. Israel completely failed the Mosaic covenant. They were a wife to God, and he was faithful to them, but they were unfaithful to him. So he's established a new covenant, and the new covenant is established through Jesus Christ, established in his blood, in which he will transform people, not from the outside in like the old covenant where they tried to obey the commands of God, but from the inside out where he transforms us from the inside and writes his law in our hearts. And so Jesus says, "This is the new covenant in my blood." And the disciples missed it. They hardly even paid attention to it, because right after this, Jesus said that there is someone who is going to betray them. Well, they completely ignored the new covenant part, and they focused on the betrayal part. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Who could it be? They continued the type of discussion even further on. It says in verse 24, now there was a dispute among them as to which of them would be considered the greatest. They started now having a TMZ conversation. If you don't know what TMZ is, good for you. They had this sports talk radio discussion about who's greater, Michael Jordan or Wilt Chamberlain or LeBron James. And in the light of eternity, it is a trivial discussion. The more important thing, the vastly important thing, was the fact that the new covenant was going to be made in the blood of Jesus Christ. Are you missing the big picture because of the trivialities of your life? I know that we have to deal with the trivialities of life. You have to go find toilet paper, and you have to deal with working from home and the kids' homework and all of those things. And maybe there are things that are even more than just trivial, your job issues and things like that. But remember this, that God is doing something much bigger right now. He's doing something much bigger in you spiritually, and he's doing something much bigger in the world around you. Don't become so preoccupied with the trivial things that you miss the big things that God is doing. God bless. Have a great day.